Alright, so you're down by my dad, going to hook up the back blade and put it on the trailer. And he called me and said that he couldn't get the tractor started, that it started up, it ran a little bit, and then it quit. So he pulled out some of the, I think 2 of the spark plugs. He said he checked, he had all sorts of spark, but the plugs were dry. So, and then I said, well, you know, do you have the bowl turned on over here? You got this bowl here. And I asked him if he had it turned on. He said yes. I checked it. He said there's fuel in the tank. So those are the 2 things there. So why aren't you getting fuel? Well, could be the carburetor, right? So the carburetor's never been touched as far as I can recall, and that's been years. So I talked to a friend. He said pull off the fuel line, see if you got fuel. Well, I pulled the line off and all sorts of fuel coming through. Well, that's not the issue. So then if you go on the bottom of the carburetor, down on the bottom there, there's like a plug for the bowl. Pulled that out and nothing came out. I'm like, well, that's not a good sign. So I'm like, there was a little, I don't know what you want to call this here, connection point, and I kind of figured there was a screen on here. So I pulled the screen out and this was super clean. Like there was nothing on this. And I'm like, well, that's kind of what I expected, because there was all sorts of fuel coming down. And when I pulled that line off, the fuel was clear. And as far as I know, the tank is pretty clean. So pulled the plug off, like I said, didn't get anything. So then I took some brake clean, because that's what we had here. I wanted some carb cleaner, but we just had brake clean. I put it in there, and the stuff coming out the bottom of the bowl was just disgusting. And then there was like a flake, like a reddish flake, and I'm like, oh, I bet that's varnished gas. So this thing doesn't get used much at all. I mean, it sits quite a bit. And when it does get run, it's usually just to move it out and then shut it off. So I'm willing to bet there's some varnished gas in here. And I don't know if he's running non-ethanol in this either. He should be, but I'm not sure. So hopefully we get this running. So I'm going to just take some compressed air. I'm going to blow it through. Hopefully if there's anything stuck, it's gone. And then we'll put it back together and we'll see if we can get it to fire up. Alright, so on the bottom here, I reconnected the top fuel line and I left the plug out, and I went back and turned the gas line on, and we had all sorts of gas coming out the bottom of the bowl here. So I am going to take a jump here and assume that this thing is going to start, because like I said, when I pulled that plug initially, there was nothing coming out the bottom. So we'll get this plug reinstalled and then we'll see if it fires. Alright, so here we go. Let's give it a rip and see what happens. Alright, so I got it home here. I'll have to get it out to the woods yet. All I did was put 2 straps on it, piece of cardboard. I took the homemade weight off,
just because I didn't want it the bolt to crack out from all the vibration going down the road. So that's kind of what it looks like there. Obviously this section on the side here is going to be homemade. So this was added, and that was I think basically for pushing snow, so you can get more snow pushed or whatever. Looks like there's been some welding done on this too. I'd have to ask my dad. I don't know if he bought this blade new or if he bought it used. It is a 6-foot blade. It does have the replaceable cutting edge as well on there, as you can see. So I'm hoping it does a pretty nice job raking out that gravel. We'll find out.